Hello everyone, Joe Morton here for this edition of Positive In, a YouTube channel dedicated to putting positive in our lives every day so that positive can flow out. So we're planting the right seeds every single day. So here's my experience. I have a 15-year-old son, fantastic. His name's Ethan. He's an amazing young man. He's got so much energy. And he asked me the other night, I'm a runner. I like to run. I run almost every single day. But he asked me, it's like 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, Dad, let's go for a run. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone. I don't really care to run at night. I like to run usually during the morning, early, or during the day sometimes, but I like to do it in the morning. He's like, come on, let's go for a run. I thought, all right, let's go for a run. But then he says, no, let's not just go for a run. Let's go run on the nearby golf course. We'll run on the track around the golf course, the little trails. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, because I'd have to go over a fence. There's a fence like 8-9 feet tall, depending on where it's at in the golf course. I have to jump over this thing, and it had been raining all day, which means I was going to be in the wet grass up to my ankles. I wasn't too keen on this thing. But he convinced me, and he's like, Dad, come on, push it, push it. So I did, jumped over the fence. As I remembered, as I landed, I just looked up and went, oh, there's a whole new world I had never seen before. It was amazing. The moon was full. It was just so vibrant coming up over the mountains. It was amazing. It had been raining for a couple days, and so it was now clear, but the mist was just magical and mystical. It was absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad that my son encouraged me to jump out of my comfort zone. So I got thinking about this, the comfort zone, that we all gravitate towards the comfort zone. I'm not saying the comfort zone's bad, because we can't always live outside of our comfort zone, but there's a reason why great minds like Brian Tracy says, move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you are willing to feel a little awkward and uncomfortable when you try new things. Or Percy Cerruti says, you only ever grow as a human being if you're outside your comfort zone. I mean, so many people. Donald Walsh, B.L. Donald Walsh says, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So we hear this all the time. We hear this all the time. Why is it? I got this great article, which is basically just entitled The Science of Breaking Out of Your Comfort Zone. And in it, he talks about, here's my comfort zone. This is it, okay? You're looking at my comfort zone right here. If I move over here, it's called the optimal anxiety zone. Optimal anxiety, comfort zone, optimal anxiety zone. Over here, though, not so good. You don't want to push yourself so far that it ends up becoming a negative. You got me? So, comfort zone, optimal anxiety zone. This is where we grow. And if we take the time on a regular basis to push ourselves in and out of this, then we can get further towards this zone over here. But over time, you'll get to there. But you want to do it in smaller steps. So here's a few points that are made in this article about what we can do on a daily basis, on what we can do regularly to help ourselves get out of this comfort zone. Number one, do everyday things differently. You take one route to work, take a different route to work. You take one elevator, take the stairs. You take the stairs, take a different staircase. Do things just a little differently, a little out of the comfort zone, not optimal anxiety zone. When I go running every day, I like to run. My son pushed me out, and I grew, and it was wonderful, and it was fantastic. Number two, do it in small steps. As I mentioned, want to get to this optimal anxiety zone, but you don't want to just run over there. If you don't run, for example, don't go running in the circumstance that I just talked to you about, okay? So do it in smaller steps. So there's a few little bits of advice. Now, for those who are building a business, those who are trying to, or you're a salesperson, or you're an entrepreneur, you own your own business, let me tell you, there's something that you can do. There's something that you can do to get the creative juices going. Consider this quote by Dan Stevens. The comfort zone is the great enemy to creativity. Moving beyond it necessitates intuition, which in turn configures new perspectives and conquers fears. Ooh, I love this. Okay, so I'm thinking as a business owner. I'm talking to you right now, or someone who's wanting to do something like that. Earl Nightingale calls it the gold mine. I love this speech he has is 20 minutes of just pure, Anyways, Earl Nightingale calls it the gold mine. And he talks about every single day, wake up, have a little pad and paper, sit down, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, Push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. Think a little different. There's nothing that's inappropriate to write on this pad. Nothing. It's the gold mine. What can you do to strengthen your business? What can you do to improve your business? If you're a salesperson, what can you do to just do things differently to bring you to a new level? The gold mine. Write them down. There's no wrong answer. If you do this for 10 minutes a day and you come up with 10 different ideas, how many times, let's say you only do it for 5 days a week. 10 ideas a day, that's 50 ideas in a week. How many is that in a month? Approximately 200 ideas in a month if you only do it 5 days a week. Do you see my point? Now you're starting to push yourself, and it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. It's just a matter of time before something on that list starts to take. Why? Because you were brave enough from a business perspective to push yourself out of that comfort zone and to think differently. Thinking differently, as Steve Jobs says, that's where greatness starts to happen. Ideas come. So implement the gold mine, as Earl Nightingale talks about. Welcome to the optimal anxiety zone, just outside our comfort zone, folks. Thank you for listening to this edition of Positive In, and I invite you to have a wonderful day. Thank you.